Nameco, CEO and President, Dustin Barkley there. Welcome back. If you're excited for the football season, we certainly are. Terrible intro. Dustin, these are the deep sleepers. Start off there, boss.
So these are our deep sleepers, and these are guys that you can get in the last few rounds that could obviously have a lot of value. First guy I want to talk about, Aaron Dobson. You're going to hear a decent amount about this guy.
Now he's going to get hype.
Rookie out of Marshall, out there with New England. When you look at that offense, wow, what is going on with the Patriots offense? Aaron Hernandez in jail. Woodhead gone. Gronk hurt. Wes Welker gone. I mean, who's left? Dobson's really going to be looked at. He's really going to be looked at to have probably a decent role with that offense, and who knows? He could have a really good year.
All right, a guy that's probably you're not going to be able to get with your last pick that we really like. If you're waiting on tight ends this year, if you can get Brandon Myers, he now signed with the Giants. We absolutely love him. He was great in Oakland, actually. Almost 80 catches, about 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. But just watching him play, he was just going over the middle, just gobbling up balls. If they throw it anywhere, if Eli throws it near him, he's going to catch it. He's going to be what Martellus Bennett should have been for him last year. Love him as a sleeper.
Next, I got a running back for you, a little teeny tiny running back, and that's Mr. Danny Woodhead. He's with the Chargers now. And one thing I want to talk about with the Chargers is, as far as Phillip Rivers goes and kind of how he's kind of regressed, no one really talked about the impact of Darren Sproles leaving that offense. But it had a huge impact in my mind, and I think Danny Woodhead's going to come back and fill that void. Not quite as good as Sproles, but he's proven that he can do it. Last year, he had over 700 total yards and 7 touchdowns. I mean, obviously that was on the Patriots offense, but I think they're going to find a way to get Woodhead very involved in that offense.
It's a good segue right into my next guy. That's Shane Vereen. With Woodhead gone, Vereen's going to be getting all of those touches. And who knows, the Patriots are just crazy enough that he might get even more. So you get that little added, tiny little percent of something crazy happening where he ends up being like a starter. Who knows? He was drafted over Ridley in the same draft. They might be shaking up things out there. Really like Shane Vereen as a last round pick. A lot of upside there in my mind.
I got another running back for you, and that's Jonathan Franklin for Green Bay. The Green Bay running back situation has been a mess over the last few years. Benson did go in there and have a decent year, but it's just a revolving door. They just keep coming in and out. But they drafted 2 rookies this year, so probably one of those 2 guys is going to end up being their guy. Probably for at least the next few years. But they got Eddie Lacy and they got Jonathan Franklin. For my money on draft day, I'm waiting and taking Franklin. This guy was amazing for UCLA. 1,700 total yards for them, or 1,700 rushing yards, 33 catches, averaged 6.1 yards a carry, double-digit touchdowns. I like that he can catch the ball. I think he's got a good chance of ended up winning that job.
And just to get you in the mindset of at least what I'm thinking, GMs are thinking, I think the Packers were always targeting Franklin, but Lacy kept falling, so they grabbed him because they thought the value was too good to pass up, but then they got Franklin later because I think that's the guy that they always wanted, so
I like your chances.
You're thinking. All right, next guy I'm talking about is Fred Davis. I know he was banged up, but he's on track to be back in July. RG3 needs some people to throw it to. Fred Davis is a big body. He's got good hands. And guess what? He's always looking to get paid. But it's a contract year. He's really going to be looking to get paid. I like that additional motivation for him. Again, if you're waiting on tight ends, Myers, Fred Davis, these are guys to be looking at.
Moving on, we got a wide receiver, a rookie, Cordarrelle Patterson,
Dustin loves him.
Out of Tennessee. I do love him.
I love him so much.
If he went to any other team, I really wouldn't be that excited about him or as excited about him. But I just think it's kind of a perfect fit with him going to Minnesota because he is very much a Percy Harvin type player. So with Harvin gone, Patterson swoops right in. They already got the plays and figure out and just plop him right where he was. I don't think he's Percy Harvin. But I do think that he can definitely have a part in that offense. If your league counts return yards, check out the preseason reports. But I do think they probably will, incorporate him in some type of return duties.
He's fast.
He's very fast. Human highlight reel for the Vols last year. A lot of upside.
All right, our 2 quarterback leagues, or again, I talked about this, if you can do a flex where you can have a quarterback, it always should be a quarterback. And here's a guy in deep leagues, 2 quarterback leagues, Jake Locker. We kind of really do like his upside. He had time to be behind Hasselbeck and kind of get a feel for the offense. You always like to see that. They bolstered the offensive line. That's been a huge thing from the offseason, so she have more time. And the one sneaky thing about Locker, he's got some good legs. And really about half a season last year, he rushed for 300 yards. He had a couple of big passing games. Just a diamond in the rough kind of upside guy here, Jake Locker.
Last
That's why
guy,
it's deep sleepers.
it is deep sleepers. Last guy I'm going to talk about is Mark Ingram. You know, with Ingram, it's kind of crazy. You know, he came into the league, he got a lot of hype, got overdrafted. The next year, he slipped down, but he's still overdrafted. And he just kept on going. And at this point, he's going to be going so late in drafts that he's actually, in our mind, a good value. I mean, he's, you know, with Ivory gone, you know, he still has Pierre Thomas there to deal with. He still has Darren Sproles there to deal with, but he's going to get a decent amount of goal lines. He's going to touch the ball enough to have a little bit of value even if no injuries happen. But if Pierre Thomas gets hurt or Sproles gets hurt, you know, he could have a decent amount of value. So late round, low risk, medium potential reward.
Well, remember last year you were always betting against him? I just remember that. I like him this year too.
I won one of bets too.
I'm sure you did. Sure you did. He fell into the end zone, that's why.
It was a good one.
All right, last guy. Sorry about the reminiscing. Zac Stacy's the last guy I'm talking about here. And you know, for St. Louis, they got Pete out there, they got Richardson, and a lot of people are giving a lot of hype to Zac Stacy. He was the rookie drafted this year, so he got a little more hype because of that. We think Pete's going to be the man out there, but you got to remember, the situation the Redskins were in last year, it's very, very similar. 3 backs, no one's 100% sure what's going to be going on, and Alfred Morris was the last guy anyone thought was going to take the job. Guess what? Alfred Morris did and was a beast last year. Just remember that situation when you're taking your last round pick.
Now he's a top
or second
10
to last,
running
because, you know, obviously you take your kicker last.
That's right. So, these are our deep sleepers, guys that should be going very late in drafts. Great values. It is coming very close.
Thank God.
Check out all our other stuff, football stuff coming soon, rankings, tiers, get in the forums, subscribe on YouTube. Name code Dustin.
At Fantasy Advice on Twitter.
Yeehaw.
Wow.